Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist complaining that none of the clothes inside the store are big enough. We're also going to be taking a look at a few bonus clips, including one where somebody talks about how they got fat shamed at a store, and another one where somebody's talking about how to give yourself some fat self-care. Please be sure to check out a video I released on my second channel over the weekend where I review some of the worst BBLs that I've ever seen. Here's a link. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
This message is for the two 20-somethings who were in the Old Navy in Lancaster, Pennsylvania this afternoon, Thursday, July 18th. Your behavior in the clearance section is a common reason why people in larger bodies are afraid to leave their homes.
What do you mean? I didn't even do anything!
The way that you acted is alarming.
Dude, everybody was dancing and flinging the clothes around. I wasn't the only one.
Pulling clothes off of the plus size section that are clearly not designed for you and pulling them on over your clothes, laughing and making fun of how much larger they are.
Come on, I was having fun! No, clearly I'm joking, and clearly this never happened. And she said, this is why people in larger bodies are afraid to leave their homes. Oh yeah, because you saw some kids screwing around trying on different clothes? You're afraid to leave your home. Wow. Dramatic much?
And the clothing that you have on your body is not funny. And then when you noticed that I was looking and you said, well, at least they make clothes for all bodies, in a patronizing and condescending way.
Yeah, that's what they said. A couple of 20-year-old dudes used the phrase all bodies. Yup, this super for really real happened. And I know, because I was the clothing rack.
That didn't make up for what you just did.
It's really bizarre that people make up these stupid stories. Like, honestly.
I hope you can do better. And feel free to learn from my page about the harm of weight stigma, anti-fat bias, fat phobia, and what it does to people in all bodies.
Ah, all bodies. That's your terminology. Those kids didn't say that. Those are your words. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Even small bodies like yours.
But at least they make clothes for all bodies, those two teenage boys said to me. Did they say, you know what, ma'am? Even though you're living in a larger body, we don't appreciate that. Did they say, madam, even though you're only a small fat, this is unacceptable? Man, these two teenage boys were very well versed in the talking points and the phrases used by fat activism. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex. Next. Alright, now Confident Fearless Worthy is going to stitch with the video we just watched.
Pulling clothes off of the plus size section that are clearly not designed for you.
I have something to add to this, but first, I want to remind you to please go to my profile.
But fur? Okay.
And go to the place where things can be found. Click on it and please share, help Dr. Reem.
Go to the place where things can be found. Like your link tree or your bio or something? What?
And they really need our support right now. I will make another separate video about this later, but for now, please go do that. I find it so interesting that thin people tell us all the time that they struggle to find clothes too, that it's hard to find their sizes in stores, and yet...
Well, if you're exceedingly thin, yeah. Not everybody falls within the normal range of sizes that are available within the store. And if you are outside of that range, you will have to look elsewhere. It's really nothing to start breaking down about, dude. If somebody is like 4'8", like they're very short, they're insanely petite, they're like 80 pounds or something, they ain't finding clothes in the store either.
Seems like they can go into an Old Navy and put on clothes that are much too big for them and make fun of fat people, can't they? Seems like they can find clothing that fits.
When we're talking about people that are so thin that they can't find their size in the store, that's not the same as those two teenage boys that were putting on clothes that were too big for them. And also, those clothes being too big is not the same as them fitting. That doesn't prove that thin people can wear larger people's clothes or whatever.
It's over their bodies in an Old Navy, can't they? Meanwhile, I can't shop in stores. at Old Navy because they rarely, if ever, carry my size. So
Right, and who are you addressing that complaint to? If I don't fit into stuff because of things that I did to myself, my only complaint is with me.
let me get this straight. You can go inside an Old Navy and put on clothes over your body to make fun of people. And yet your struggle is the same.
Yes, stores don't carry exceedingly small clothes in the same manner that they don't carry exceedingly large clothes. Two stupid teenage boys trying on clothes that were too big for them does not prove that thin people can wear whatever size that they want. Those clothes were still too large, by the way. Somebody that's 4'10" and 80 pounds can't go wear a triple XL, okay? If those kids were wearing stuff to be silly, that's not the same as being able to wear clothes out in society normally. This is honestly one of the dumbest freaking arguments ever. So you're saying thin people could just put on whatever the hell fits even if it's way too big and just go out in society, that'll be fine. Yeah, that won't look completely stupid as hell or anything.
When it comes to finding clothes. Yeah, I don't ever want to hear that again. I am so serious.
I don't want to hear people complain that they made themselves too big for clothes and then trying to act like it's somebody else's fault. The only one who can get you out of this is the same person who got you into this. And that is you.
I don't. Yes, there may be a lack of availability of your size when you go to shop in stores. And yes, you may not be able to find something that fits you the way that you would like it to. But at the end of the day, you could still put something on your body and have it clothe you.
Well, you could drape yourself in a tarp then, right? If I can wear clothes that are 10 sizes too big and that's just fine, then drape yourself in a tarp. And that will be just fine too. And I don't want to hear any more complaints. They sell plenty of tarps down at the Home Depot. I was just there recently.
Whereas I certainly can't walk into any old store and do that.
Home Depot.
That is why the struggles are different. It's not the same.
It's honestly weird that you expect to get support from anybody else at all when you're constantly crapping on everybody else. You can't just acknowledge that it sucks to not be able to find your size when you're too thin also. You have to be like, no. That actually doesn't suck at all. That's fine. You guys can wear whatever size you want. I can't fit into clothes. That's legitimate. Like I said, though, if a thin person can wear a 4X piece of clothing and it's completely fine, then an obese person can wear a tarp. Right? If it doesn't matter if it's way too big and it doesn't fit right and everything, then go buy a tarp. And no, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just using a little logic here, right? I'm using your same logic on you. If it doesn't matter how the clothes fit, then just wear a freaking tarp, right? I'm going to start selling fat acceptance tarps. They'll go from a small fat all the way up to a death fat. Next.
Hi friends, so I was having a little bit of moment of feeling and being like, I don't know what to do next to kind of get out of this. And I was like, if only there was something I could do. And I was like, oh yeah, I could pull a fat self-care card and just shake this moment up a bit.
Duh. Of course, dude. Pull a fat self-care card. Why didn't I think of that?
Also, I have 4 decks left if you need one.
I need several.
Give me. Okay. Let's pick a card. It could be a repeat. I'm fine with that. I just want to know what the cards are telling us today. What do they need?
Is this like a tarot deck for the obese, or? Instead of pulling the death card, you pull the death fat card? Sorry.
Us to be reminded of.
Okay. What do we got?
My fat body is vast like the ocean.
Okay, why? What? My fat body is vast like the ocean. How are these cards helping me? This is insulting. What the hell? Stupid cards? Shut up.
And you know what that helps me remember?
I would love to know what that helps you remember.
Let's take some breaths. Sometimes I get so fixated on what's going on.
My fat body is vast like the ocean reminds you to take some breaths. Slow down a little bit, take a little bit of inventory of what's happening in the moment or something, I guess. Okay. That's a very abstract way of saying that.
That I can't see the bigger picture. So, hands on your heart, and we're going to take 2 breaths, okay? And again, inhale. And exhale with an audible sigh. Your body is vast like the ocean.
Stop saying that.
If you start to get up in your head, take 3 breaths and remember.
Okay, so these fat self-care cards seem very abstract and confusing. My body is vast like the ocean. And that's supposed to remind me to just like take it easy, take a couple breaths, don't get too caught up in the moment or something? What? Are all of the cards just going to be insults and then you're like, no, actually, that's just reminding you to take care of yourself. The next one is all like, your fat body has a ton of stretch marks. And that one means that sometimes you need to calm down and just relax and appreciate the moment. What? What? How does it mean that?
You're doing a great job. And it's hard to exist in late-stage capitalism.
No, not really.
So I'm really proud of you. Bye, babes.
All right, bye, babes. I'm proud of you, too. Let's take a look at another clip of this person with some more fat self-care cards. I love these. Next.
Hi, friends. Happy Sunday evening.
Hi, friend. Happy Sunday evening.
I thought let's pull a fat self-care card and get our weekend closed out right with a little bit of care and intention. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's see how confusing this one is. By the way, you seem to have like some kind of aura or some shit, like all about your head and whatnot. This is crazy. I could see his like aura or whatever. Does anybody know that reference?
Like that one last time. I thank my fat body for all that it does for me.
I thank my fat body for all that it does for me. Wait a minute. Aren't I the one controlling my body? Doesn't brain control body, not vice versa?
I think for a lot of our lives, we've been told to fight against our fat bodies or to deny these fat bodies.
By taking good care of ourselves?
Or just kind of felt like they were the problem. And it is a beautiful thing to come back to yourself.
And say your body is vast like the ocean?
To come back to gratitude around all that this body does. It carries you through the world.
Not really. If you're obese, it doesn't really carry you through the world at all. A thin body will carry you through the world much better, my friend. We really need to stop looking at things this way, where good self-care for your body means to eat highly processed food that tastes good in the moment but harms you later.
And no matter how fat it is valuable, worthy, and precious. Just like you. So I hope that you have a beautiful week remembering that your fat body is amazing.
Your fat body is not taking care of you and propelling you through the world. Your brain is controlling what you eat and how you move. Good self-care means taking care of your body and not eating food that is bad for you, even if it's uncomfortable to do sometimes. Exercising and eating right is very similar to studying. We're delaying gratification in the here and now so that we may achieve our goal later. We're not harming ourselves by working hard and trying to achieve a goal. We are harming ourselves by giving into our addiction and eating whatever the hell we want, even if it's harming us. Next.
Good morning. It's so nice to see you in the break room.
Good morning. Yeah, I needed a change of scenery.
I hear you.
That's what you're eating for breakfast?
I love her little facial expressions when the other chick opened up the thing. This is pretty good acting, honestly. Hold on, go.
I hear you.
Right here. That little micro expression with her little like eye movement.
That's what you're eating for breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
What, you got a problem? Stupid? You want to go outside? You want to box right now? What's up? Living in a larger body over here trying to have a bagel. You got a freaking problem?
I could never.
Cool, then get the hell out of the break room and let me enjoy my bagel.
That sounds so sad. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Okay. That's a very bizarre response. If somebody says, oh, I could never eat that, is it a hilarious response to say, oh, that's so sad? I was going to try to make fun of her for saying that, but that's kind of a hilarious response, isn't it? You can't eat a bagel? Puss, what the hell?
No, it's just, I guess that is kind of sad.
I used to think I couldn't.
Oh, she learned the error of her ways immediately. I love it when that happens in these stories that we make up, where we get to control both sides of the argument. Gee, Mark, don't you think you've had enough pizza? Look at you. What? You're trying to police how much pizza I've had? That's fat phobia, sir. Yeah, I just think that maybe... Wait, I'm being fat phobic? Oh. You know what? You're right. I'll change from now on. Is that what happened?
I eat certain foods too, and then I learned to give myself full permission. And not only did I stop hating my body every day, but I also stopped obsessing about food.
Okay, not to be mean, but if an obese person told me that they gave up caring about what types of food to eat, and if I do the same, I can have their same results, that's not really getting me on board, right?
That's possible. Yeah, there's
possible. Oh, I know, this is a real interaction. Oh, I know.
There's actually a webinar coming up that I feel like you could learn a lot from if you're interested. I am.
A webinar about how to just eat whatever we feel like.
Great, I'll send you the details. Thanks.
Oh my god, this never happened. What a stupid made-up interaction. This reminds me of the time that I was jogging down the street and the mayor came up and gave me the key to the city. He was like, you know what? I was driving by and I noticed that your ass was looking super snatched in those boom boom shorts, so I had to drop by and give you the key to the city, my good sir. Here you go! It was dope, man. And then everybody clapped. I love how stupid and fake these stories are. They're like, I could never eat that. You're like, oh, wow, that's sad. And they're like, you know what? That is sad. How can I find more freedom around food like you? And then you were like, I will teach you, my friend. Join my webinar. And then you guys high-fived. Okay, next.
So one thing that's like always bothered me more than I think it should is when somebody that's like noticeably smaller than me comments on something I'm eating.
What if somebody your same size or larger than you comments on what you're eating? Is that okay?
And I'm pretty sure that just about any time these interactions happen, the person saying something isn't trying to be rude in any way, but it always just feels like a dig. And it's always small little stuff like, oh, you drink one of those Starbucks Frappuccinos? I could never. They're too sweet for me.
Just like in that last video. I'm sure that this does happen. This is like a little passive-aggressive thing that people do sometimes.
Oh my gosh, you have zebra cakes in your lunch? I love Little Debbie's, and every time I walk by them
Damn, dude, you're having Starbucks in the morning, you're having zebra cakes for lunch?
in the store, I want them, but I always have to hold back the temptation. Oh, you just like to drink cocktails? There's too much sugar in those for me.
Hint, hint. Maybe they're just trying to sneak those dietary suggestions in there without offending you. They're like, me? I could never eat a whole cake by myself sitting there crying in the break room at work. Maybe you shouldn't either. You know, maybe, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't, I'm just saying, you know, maybe in certain realities this wouldn't be a good idea. Maybe. I'm just a guy with a microphone. What the hell would I know? That's what I say in the break room. I'm just a guy with a microphone. People are like, the fuck? This guy's completely insane. There's no microphone here. And he's been monologuing to a non-existent camera for 10 minutes now. What the fuck?
And again, I know that when people say this stuff, it's not usually meant to be mean because so many of my friends say these things just offhandedly, not even realizing.
Okay, well, if they don't intend it to be mean, then you shouldn't be offended. If stupid people say offensive things, they are just stupid, right? Can we all agree on that?
But I'm fat and you're not, so it feels rude.
Okay, well, I will agree that it does come off as rude if you see somebody eating something, you're like, I could never eat that. Oh my God. It might be even more rude if you just start laughing, right? You see somebody eating. What the hell, bro? Personally, if I was trying to give somebody some dietary suggestions, I wouldn't do it in a passive-aggressive manner such as that. I wouldn't say anything unless somebody actually expressed that they're trying to lose weight. If you say that around me, now you're getting my advice, buddy. So what did you think of the clips that we just saw? Is it worse when large people can't find clothes in the store than when thin people can't find clothes? Did those kids at Old Navy really put on plus-size clothes? And should we not be passive-aggressive and tell people, I could never eat that? Leave a comment below. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.